With this, I can turn you, your gun rest, and your rifle into the Perfect Marksman. I appreciate the time you've taken to look at this demonstration and setup video for the Perfect Marksman, available at theperfectmarksman.com. You really need to do a few dry fires first. Also, dry fires are going to be able to give you the best evidence of what I consider perfect. I'm going to start another video for you so you can get a look at the reticle. Picture in picture. There we go. I like to get it close. Take my marksman. A couple of light pumps to hang it. I know that mine's going to fire on the second firm pump. Couple of final adjustments. Take your time during this part of the process. We're wanting to get the perfect point of aim. Alright, now our focus needs to shift to the recoil and protecting our equipment. I like to keep my hand here for safety. Don't put your eye here, don't put your eye there. Please don't learn that lesson the hard way. We've all been there. One pump, second firm pump. You heard the click. Have it set up to where when you let go, it lets go. Do this several times. Make sure that you have a good feel for how this thing works. It is a little counterintuitive to switch your concentration from your point of aim. That's what we're usually focused on at the last second. But we're going to change it up a bit. We're focused on our equipment at this point. One pump, two pumps, click. Alright. After you've done that several times, you're ready for some live rounds. Remember that as the purchaser of this product, it will be your responsibility to make sure that you, as well as any other user of this product, understands that recoil happens and is the responsibility of the purchaser to make sure that it's accounted for. The last thing we want is for your fancy rifle to end up on the ground. I'm going to set up with shooting a 300 Winchester Magnum, a 200 grain bullet at approximately 3,000 feet per second. In other words, something you may go bear hunting with, something that's not pleasant to go shoot 25 or 30 times when you're working up a load. When you're doing remote firing, it's very important that you take the time to understand your combination of table, rest, and gun to make sure that your rifle doesn't end up on the ground. Now you can find things in your shop or your garage, simple things. I used a ratchet strap attached to the table and then a bungee cord. My bungee cord was a little long, so I hooked it up to the bottom side, around the top. Now what we're trying to do here is simulate the recoil absorption that our shoulder would give instead of locking it down in a vise. Because if you lock your gun down in a vise when you're shooting heavy recoil, you're going to put a major strain on the bolts or the bedding of your actions. Not only that, in my experience, when you sight your gun in using that method, you're going to have a slightly different point of impact than shooting it from your shoulder. So what we're trying to do is to make it to where when we sight in our rifle with the Perfect Marksman, it will also be sighted in for when we hold it to our shoulder. I also took a small bungee cord and put it around here so during the recoil it doesn't come up. It's also very important to make sure that when you account for the recoil, you leave enough room on the table for that recoil to happen. If you have your leg right at the back of the table, as the recoil happens, you could come off the table. Same consideration needs to be made for where you are left and right. Assembling the Perfect Marksman to your gun rest is as easy as finding the rails that you want to use, a couple of zip ties to your firm tubing, take your soft tubing, insert. Disassembly is easy. This part snaps off and we can pull it apart there, pull it out of the zip ties, maybe store it in a different location. Reassembly is just as easy. Now that we have taken the time to experiment with dry fire, we have a really good feel for how our trigger feels when we're doing our pumping. We have a good feel for understanding how to use it. We know that we're not going to keep our eye here, and we're not going to keep our eye here. It's a little bit different than what we're used to. They're pretty close. You used to be focused on the point of aim the whole time. We know we're getting the perfect point of aim, and we know we're getting the perfect trigger pull. So, our focus, after we have everything set up for recoil, as shown earlier, we hang the marksman, do our final adjustments, we feel good. Our focus now shifts to our equipment and keeping it on the table. We're set up well. I like to keep my hand here, not touching. I don't want to bump it. Double check it. I know that mine usually fires on the second pump. Give it one pump. I don't continue pumping while I double check. And now I'm clear. I'm not going to hit myself in the face. Hit the second pump. When I let go, the marksman lets go. Return everything back and check your group. That's really nice. Okay, so we got a 5-shot group, 100 yards, 300 Winchester Magnum built by Alamo Precision Rifles. That looks great. It's exactly what we came to the range to find. However, many of you can relate to this. We tell ourselves that we jerked it a little bit. I pulled it, that was me. But the fact is, we're not really certain. Using the Perfect Marksman, we understand that what we're really looking at is our reloading process and not our shooting process. That certainty is able to help us. We understand that we're close, but we're not quite there. Using the Perfect Marksman doesn't guarantee that we're going to hit the bullseye every time. But what it does is it shows us exactly what this rifle and ammo combo is capable of doing. We've gone over the benefits of certainty when we're examining our loads, trying to figure out if the flyers were due to us or due to a mistake at the reloading bench. There are other advantages to this product as well. Obviously, if we can eliminate human error, we can save a little bit of money when sighting in our rifles. We can sight those rifles in more precisely. We can get rid of bruised shoulders. People pay big money to put muzzle brakes on the end of their gun. In my experience, they blow your ears out when you're hunting and the big buck walks out and you forget to put your hearing protection on. Also, muzzle brakes change the point of impact with it on versus off, and in my experience, change the harmonics of the barrel a little bit to where the load's not the same with the muzzle brake on versus off. That's money that we could save not putting a muzzle brake on. We could save our ears, and we could have the best of both worlds. We don't have to punish ourselves at all, for example, with a setup like this. If you're working up a bear load, you really don't want to go to the range and punch yourself in the arm 25 times. But that's what it takes to get it right. Not anymore. Competition shooters can shoot the same ammo, same gun, same weather, same conditions on the same day themselves versus perfection, so that they can take their time at the reloading bench or at the practice range. Another thing that I see dangerous is trigger jobs. People will try to have a gun that's the best of both worlds for hunting as well as for the bench. I've seen some really dangerous triggers in the field. They spend money on the trigger job and they make that trade-off because they want to, like I say, straddle the fence. With this product, you can have a trigger that's safe for the field and also have perfect precision when you're at the range trying to work up your loads. These are just a few of the examples of benefits that I've been able to come up with. You may come up with more, but I think it's worth the money. $35 solves a lot of problems on all your guns.